All right, here we go. This one's gonna be a 45 auto test. That is a huge thank you to one of our viewers, Mr. John G from Texas. He actually sent us a couple very generous donations to purchase this stuff, along with quite a bit of other rounds for us to test. So thank you, buddy. Really appreciate you. You are a huge help to the channel, and this should definitely be a fun one. So today we are going to be testing out the Grind Hard 111 grain plus P Xtreme Defense. So here's what that thing looks like. It is a solid copper bullet. It is called Xtreme Defense, but it basically looks like your Xtreme Hunter. It does have your standard brass case and is rated at 1700 feet per second. So we'll see how close we come today. So we are going to be testing it out of our Rock Island GICS. That one does have that 3.5-inch barrel. We'll be going through our gel. Those are 10% calibrated blocks. Do have our catch block behind that, so a total of 22 inches of gel. Our 4 layers of cotton tissue in the front, and like always, we'll set up our chronograph so you can hopefully pick up those impact velocities. So let's set up and see how this round does. All right, we're setting back to 15 feet. All right, let's see how we did on that one. All right, so it looks like our impact velocity on that one was 1370. So of course, quite a bit lower than that 1700 that it was rated for. But you know, we were using a super short barrel, so still not too bad. All right, and there's that entry. Looks like I got a really good hit. You can kind of see down that cavity. It looks like a pretty decent star pattern so far. So let's check it out from the top. Oh yeah, definitely not too bad. So it looks like as soon as that thing came in, we definitely got some pretty good disruption. Of course, that thing isn't opening up. It is a solid copper projectile and it's not, you know, meant to open up, but still looks like it's doing pretty good. So we did make it out of that first one into the second one. You can see we made it quite a ways, about 2/3 of the way through that second block. So quite a bit of penetration, and as good we were actually able to catch this thing. I did have 2 jugs behind it just in case, because sometimes these, you know, they go all over the place. A lot of times they dive down and go through the table, but let's see what kind of measurement we have here from the top. Like always, we'll get our a little bit more accurate cross sections here later, but for now, looks like about 1 3/4 inches. So definitely not too bad. Not the most, but you know, still pretty darn good. And here it is from the side. Hopefully you guys can see that. So it looks like as soon as that thing came in, looks like we got pretty much immediate disruption. You can see those really nice spiral cuts going through. Looks like it carried it pretty much all the way through. Maybe that last inch or so, it did start to settle down and flatline. And then you can see it did make it into that second block. So let's see what kind of measurement we have here from the side. Definitely looks a little bit smaller from the side than the top. And we are about 1.5 inches, so about 1/4 inch less from the side than the top, but still not too bad. And then you can see it, those still kind of nice spiral cuts going through. And then that thing is facing forward, so that is always good. And at our leading edge, we're at 7 3/4 inches. So that's a total of 18 3/4 inches of total penetration. So actually quite a bit. So we're gonna set up for a second shot and see how that one does. All right, we're setting back to 15 feet. All right, let's see what we did on that one. All right, so it looks like our impact velocity on that one was 1168, so definitely quite a bit lower even than that first shot. And like I said, rated was 1700, so kind of disappointing. You know, the velocities we're getting, especially with a 111 grain bullet. That is super light, but you know, still not too bad, I guess. All right, so there's that entry for that one. Looks like got another really good hit. And you can definitely see down that cavity. It looks like a pretty decent star pattern once again. So let's check it out from the top. Oh yeah, pretty much same thing. So not too bad. Looks like it did come in pretty much identical to the last one, getting that good disruption through there. Nice spiral cuts. Did it look like it flatlined maybe that last inch or so. We did make it into that second block, and there it is on the right hand side, resting right next to that other one. So quite a bit of penetration, just like that first shot. So let's see what kind of measurement we did get here from the top. But you can tell, man, that thing pretty much identical to that last one. I believe that last one was 1 3/4, and this one's exactly the same, 1 3/4. You know, which is pretty surprising, especially it did get a little bit lower velocity, but it's still causing some pretty good damage throughout there. So there is, here it is from the side. Hopefully you guys are able to see that. So it came in pretty much like the last one, immediate disruption in there. Looks like it's carrying that energy a pretty good ways though. You know, maybe that last inch or so where it is settling down, and then it did make it into that second one. So let's see what kind of measurement we have from this side or on this shot. And we are just shy of an inch and a half, which is pretty much the same as that last one. So these tracks literally are identical. So it's good to see that it's consistent that way. Not so much in velocity, but and there it is in that second block. You can see that one is also facing forward. And at our leading edge, this one is 8 1/4. So that one made it 19 1/4 inches of total penetration. So definitely quite a bit. So let's check these out one more time from the top. So the one on the right was that first shot, and the one left was that second shot. So here's that first shot. You can see it came in, started tearing this stuff up pretty good. You can see those nice spiral cuts going through. You can see where it did start to flatline and settle down just a little bit towards the end. And then it is that track there on the top, and then you can see it resting in that second block facing forward. And same thing on this one. Literally identical tracks. Came in, started getting some pretty good disruption. Nice spiral cuts. Same thing, right at that inch mark, started to settle down. And that one also made it into that second block right next to it, and that is that round on that top. So definitely not too bad. So let's pull these rounds and see what they look like. All right, check these things out. Looks like they both look really good. Of course, they didn't expand. They weren't meant to, but man, it is definitely one good looking bullet for sure. So here's that first shot. Let's see if we can focus. There we go. You know, like I said, it is a solid copper projectile. It does look like it has a hollow base. It is full of gel, so we will rinse it out like always here at the end, but definitely not too bad. Got some really deep rifling marks in there. And one wicked looking round. Like I said at the beginning, or right there at the start, it looks more like it's called Xtreme Defense, of course, like, you know, the Underwood Xtreme Defender, Lehigh Defense Xtreme Defender, but it's looking a little bit more like their Xtreme Hunter. So I'm really not too sure there, but definitely a good looking round. And there's the second one. Nothing really new to see here. Pretty much exactly the same. And this one is also full of gel, but definitely not too bad. Would be nice to see, you know, a little bit higher velocities, but hopefully one day soon we can get a full size and test them again and see what kind of damage they do. But let's see if we can put them upside down, possibly. No. So we'll just kind of put them like this for now, and we'll do one time from the bottom. You can see those things. You can see that nice deep hollow base in there. And last time from the top. So like I said, we will rinse these out, get our still shot, slow-mo, all that good stuff here at the end. So once again, thank you, Mr. John, for sending this stuff out. You know, we really appreciate you, and this was definitely a fun one. So as always, thanks for watching, guys. All right, so here's that first shot. This is the one that was at 1,370 feet per second. So definitely got quite a bit of damage down in there. A little bit different than what we're normally seeing, but still pretty impressive. And same thing on this side. Let's see if we can get this thing to focus. Same thing on this side. You can see those nice tears down in there. I did remeasure these, and they are right at 1 3/4 inches. I believe they were exactly the same out in the field. So, you know, pretty good. They weren't reaching that advertised velocity, but, you know, they were still moving out pretty good. So let's cut these open. All right, so here's after being cut. So this bottom is the right side and the top is the left. So we're going to be doing this a little bit different than we normally do. I actually put the whole 11-inch path going through the whole block. The reason I'm doing that is because these Xtreme Defenders, or, you know, bullets like it, seem to carry their energy a lot further than your standard hollow point, where the hollow points are, you know, usually the first few inches where there's a lot of damage and they start to flatline. These ones, you know, they pretty much carry it through that first block, which is pretty impressive. So here is that first look. So pretty much as soon as they come in, they start creating a ton of damage. You can see that nice path going through, really deep cuts. Looks like it did drag in quite a bit of a cotton t-shirt in this one, which is actually kind of surprising because there's nothing really to catch it. But still pretty impressive. And as you can see, maybe that last inch or two where it does start to settle down, but for the most part, there's just a ton of damage going through that whole path, which is very impressive. And same on this top part. Came in, and you know, normally they're about right here, the 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch before it starts to open up, but these are literally on impact where they're starting to create that damage. And once again, you can see that nice path going all the way through. Same thing on here. It did drag in a little bit of that cotton t-shirt, and just some nice splits. This side you can kind of tell a little bit more what's going on with that flat lining, but super impressive stuff. And that one was moving 1,370 feet per second. That's almost 500 foot-pounds out of that short barrel. So that's definitely super impressive. So that one was that first shot. All right, so there's that cross section for that second shot. Pretty much same thing on this one. You can see those nice tears going down in there. Pretty big splitting for sure. Same on this other side. So I did remeasure these. I think in the field we're getting 1 3/4. But we're actually peaking at 1 3/4 and averaging right at about 1.5 inches. So a little bit less damage than out in the field, but you know, that one was moving a little bit slower, so kind of expected there, but you know, still pretty impressive. So let's cut this open. All right, so here's after being cut. So this bottom is the right side and this top is the left. So pretty much same as that last one. Right on impact, you can start to see that damage going through. Tearing this stuff up pretty good. This one actually drug in a ton of that cotton t-shirt, and I did the same thing. I did the full 11-inch path, which is our whole block. Just because, like I said, these things usually do carry their energy a lot further than your standard hollow point, which you can see right there towards the end where it starts a flat line. But man, it's definitely jumbling this stuff up pretty good. And here's that top track, same thing. You see where it came in, start getting that disruption pretty much immediately, going all the way through and just carrying it that whole way, which is very impressive. So same on this side, nice deep splits. This one did drag in quite a bit of that fabric as well, but definitely some nasty stuff. They're definitely growing on me. You know, I'm kind of old school. I like just your standard hollow point because they usually do tear up, you know, they tear some stuff up. They do quite a bit of damage. But these ones are definitely pretty impressive. You know, just a solid copper projectile that's creating that much damage. So once again, thank you, Mr. John, for sending this stuff out or purchasing for us and, you know, making all this test possible. Really appreciate you, buddy. It has been a huge help. So that one was that Grind Hard 111 grain plus P Xtreme Defense. Thanks again for watching, guys.